You know, we're all taught that getting good with money is about math. It's about spreadsheets and formulas and charts. But what if that's all wrong? Today, we're going to dive into Morgan Housel's amazing book, The Psychology of Money, to uncover the lessons that most people totally miss. That building wealth isn't about what you know, it's all about how you behave. And you know this quote from Sherlock Holmes? It just perfectly captures the core idea of the book. The most important truths about money aren't some complex formulas hidden away. Nope. They're actually simple, powerful ideas about human nature, and they're just hiding in plain sight. I mean, really think about this question for a second. It just flips the entire script on personal finance. We're conditioned to think that money is a math-based field, but Housel argues it's actually a soft skill, one that's all about psychology, emotion, and most importantly, our behavior. To see just how true this is, let's kick things off with a story from the book. It really highlights the one skill we almost always overlook, and it explains why even the smartest people on Earth can go completely broke. Okay, so Housel tells this incredible true story about a tech executive. And this guy was a certified genius, made a fortune from his inventions, but his behavior with money was, well, let's just say it was a little erratic. He'd carry these huge wads of cash, and one time, just for fun, he and his friends took thousands of dollars in gold coins and literally skipped them across the Pacific Ocean. And here's the punchline. Despite his genius-level IQ, this man went completely and totally broke. His story is the perfect, if kind of painful, example of the book's main idea. Financial success has almost nothing to do with how smart you are. And this is exactly what Housel means by the psychology of money. It's not about the spreadsheets. It's about managing your own greed, your own fear, your ego. At the end of the day, your financial success really just comes down to your behavior. So, if behavior is the key, where do we even start? Well, the first big lesson from the book is a simple but really profound one called "No one's crazy." And this idea will completely change how you look at your own financial choices and everybody else's too. This quote is just so powerful. It gets right to the heart of why we do what we do with money. See, each of us has this tiny, unique slice of experience, shaped by how we grew up, our culture, and just pure luck. And that tiny slice makes up almost our entire worldview. So a decision that seems crazy to me, like buying lottery tickets, might feel totally rational to someone else based on their life. And on top of all that, we have to remember we're all basically beginners here. The entire modern financial world, I'm talking about things like 401ks, index funds, even the very idea of retiring for decades, it's all an incredibly recent invention. We are all just figuring this out as we go. I mean, just look at this slide. It really drives the point home. If you go back to 1880, almost 80% of men over 65 were still working. By 2010, that number had crashed down to around 20%. The whole idea of a long, relaxing retirement is brand new. Nobody is an expert here. We are all just improvising. All right, this brings us to another behavior that seems completely backward to most of us. It's all about the difference between being rich and being wealthy, and it comes from the chapter, Wealth is What You Don't See. Okay, this is one of the most mind-bending ideas in the whole book. We see a fancy car and we think, wow, that person is wealthy. But Housel argues that's not wealth at all. That's just spending. Real wealth is the money you don't see. It's the stocks and bonds and cash in the bank that you haven't turned into visible stuff yet. And this slide lays out the trap perfectly. When people say, I want to be a millionaire, what they're often picturing is spending $1 million. But as Housel points out, that's literally the fastest way to not be a millionaire anymore. True wealth is having that money, not the memory of having spent it. You have to love this quote. It actually came from a lawsuit involving the singer Rihanna and her financial advisor, and it's just hilarious because it's so blunt. It's this simple truth we all kind of forget. If you spend your money on things, you end up with the things, not the money. Okay, so if true wealth isn't really about buying a bunch of stuff, then what's the point? What is money actually for? This leads us to what Housel calls money's highest dividend, the real ultimate goal of building wealth. This is it. This is the real prize. The ultimate value of your money isn't a luxury car or a giant house. It's autonomy. It's the simple but incredibly powerful freedom to wake up in the morning and say, I can do whatever I want today. And that's the absolute key here. Money's greatest power is its ability to buy you control over your own time. Having savings in the bank means you can handle an unexpected bill without breaking a sweat. You can wait for the right job to come along, or you can retire when you want to, not when you have to. That control, That's priceless. So, how do we pull all of these ideas together into something we can actually use? Well, the book's final thoughts distill everything down into one simple, really powerful framework. This might be the single most important sentence in the entire book. It totally reframes saving. It's not an income problem, it's an ego problem. Spending money just to show people how much money you have is the quickest way to have less money. Real wealth, as Housel argues, is built on a foundation of humility. And so, this slide really illustrates the path forward. It's not about complicated strategies, is it? It's about a few key behaviors. It's about letting go of your ego so you can widen that savings gap. It's about using your money to buy control over your time, not just more things. And it's about staying humble, saving for all the surprises you can't possibly predict, and always, always respecting the massive role that luck plays in everyone's financial story. So we'll leave you with the central question of the book. It's not about how much you can earn, but about how much you desire. It asks you to decide what's more important, the fleeting satisfaction of showing off to others or the lasting freedom that comes from having control over your own life. The size of that gap, well, that's entirely up to you.